Howdy, partners. It's your boy here, and we are back. We got some more Fire Emblem Heroes content for you today, and we have the Datamines for the upcoming Desert banner. So we got the stats, and we got Boons and Banes, and all that good stuff. We also have Hall of Forms, which we'll go ahead and take a look at right now. So this is going to be the next round of Hall of Forms. So we have here Legendary Robin. We've got the Fallen Morgan M. We have Valentine Lucina, and then we have Valentine Owain. Ooh. Yeah, the two seasonal units they chose here are pretty good, honestly. Like, they could have definitely been worse options that they put in here. Now, if you were expecting Legendary Chrom, I got some bad news for you guys. Like, there was no chance in the universe they were ever going to put Legendary Chrom on here. He's, like, actually the best unit in the game that is the oldest unit in the game. I don't think there's any unit older than that Chrom that's still as good as he is. So, the chances of him being a Forma were just absolutely zero. So, instead we get this Grima, who is pretty terrible. There's not really much you can do with her. Her scoring is very low as a Legendary Hero. You'd have to give her, like, Colorless Feud if you want to score higher with her. She's not even a pair-up. So I can't really, in good conscience, recommend anyone build this unit up. Although, if you've already got her at plus 10 and you have to use her, like she's your only plus 10 Earth hero, then I guess, like, pick up some stuff on her. Maybe, like, Guidance 4, Soaring Guidance, things like that. But, yeah, she's done, man. Put her away. Same with this guy. I mean, he's done. This guy was never even good even when he came out. Maybe he was, like, okay, but he was never, like, a super meta-relevant unit ever. So, maybe you could build him interestingly now. Let me think. You could give him Tormod's new weapon, which is okay, but not so much on infantry. That weapon you want to give to, like, cav units, and he is not one of them. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll come up with some interesting builds for him when I do the builds video. Now, Lucina and Owain, on the other hand, these two are actually pretty goddamn good to be getting in Hall of Forms. This guy is actually the best demote Lance Cav that we have access to. He's got double super boons on attack and speed. He also has the best attack and speed combo bases. So if you're going to invest in any, like, Lance Cav, then you can't really do much better than him. The only problem is he's a 4-star seasonal demote, so getting him to plus 10 is not the easiest thing in the world. But if you go for it, then he's definitely able to put in his own work. He can hold his ground there. And then Valentine Lucina, I mean, DTM will stand this unit to hell and back. She is a pretty solid save unit because she's got Future Vision, which is just about the best possible assist an armored unit could get. So that's very good. Her weapon is aged a little bit, though. I think you want to give her a better weapon at this point. Like, I would say Arcane Lucina's Axe is probably the way to go. The bad news, though, is that if you give her Arcane Lucina's Axe, you can't run Future Vision. So there's a lot of downsides to doing that, but the weapon is just so much better that it's probably worth it. I mean, I'll talk more about this unit as well when we do the builds video, but she's solid and he's solid, and then these two are duds. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to this now. So we have a new customization pack incoming. So you spend $9 basically, 9 US, and you get 22 orbs, and then you get these two backgrounds here. These are going to be the summoner backgrounds for your characters, not the castle background. So where are we here? Where is this? This looks like a familiar location for some reason. Like, I feel like I should know where this is. Is this Asker Castle? And this is, like, the shopping center, and then, like, in the back, that's Asker Castle. I think this is the castle grounds, I feel like, for Asker, but I don't know. Either way, it looks okay. It's not, like, the craziest one. The one that I really liked was the Halloween one, but I still didn't buy it anyway, because, I mean, I'm not about to drop $10 just for some backgrounds. But that's just me. Okay, let's go ahead and move on now to the main meat and potatoes of this update. So we've got the units here, and we got their stats. We're going to be doing some filling in while we're here. So we're going to start things off with Igreen, of course. So for her stat line, we've got 40 HP. We've got 46 attack. We got 46 speed. We have 24 defense and then 32 res. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger there. Okay, so those are her stats. Now let's go for the BST. So 40, 46, 46. Then we got 24 and 32. So 188 BST, which is pretty good for a bow infantry type, although she is one bin below Cyril. I think that's going to be a common trope for a lot of the infantry bow types that are not like, trainees like Cyril is. So, RIP there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, this unit is actually bananas. I've seen some people trying to downplay her, like, oh, you could just pop Thor's duo skill. But, bro, you could do that to every other unit in the game, and it makes them worse. So, like, why are they an exception? Like, why are we singling them out as being weak to duo Thor when everything is weak to duo Thor? I don't understand. And, of course, they give support movement +1 to all infantry allies, not just your melee infantry types, which is a huge bonus over Snap. Rain Snap only gives +1 movement to melee infantry. So, all of a sudden, your infantry range-type units can move 3 spaces. So, units like Legendary Crom moving 3 spaces, that is huge for him. Also, units like freaking New Year Kvaser, who went up in value a ton from having this unit for support. So there's going to be a lot of interesting infantry range type options you can run with them. You could possibly even set up a infantry line defense for 8th Raid's defense with them, because they are pretty similar in functionality to like Legendary Hinoka, where she gives charge and pretty much that's all that you need for your flyers. But having the bonus movement and the nullifying of terrain penalties is really good. You can get through fire tiles. You can also like cut through trees with your infantry types. So this is definitely a unit to watch out for. I think they are actually a must summon. Although, don't let me be the one to tell you that. All right, let's take a look at their boons and banes now. So they got a bane on HP, which is common. Nothing on attack, boon on speed. Alright, can't type, apparently. Alright, looks like nothing on defense, and then also Bane on res. Ooh, okay. Alright, doesn't matter. We got plus speed. That's really the only thing we want to see with them. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at their very juicy artwork here. So, I mean, this is, I would say, the best artwork on the banner, and this is actually my favorite artwork in quite some time. You wouldn't have expected Igreen and Luis to be a duo, because I feel like Igreen is the badass, like, muscle babe, and then Luis is, like, the soft, like, I don't know, girly girl type. So, I don't know. Maybe they fit together well, though. Maybe opposites attract, so it actually is better because of that. Alright, but here we have the attacking artwork, and then finally the injured artwork. Alright, a little bit fan servicey there, but that's what you would expect. I've also heard some people try to downplay the abs going on here, but there's definitely abs on Igreen. You can see the dents on her stomach where the abs, like, where her abs separate. So, like, all y'all commenting, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not seeing any abs. You guys need to up your ab game, man. You got to learn how to spot these things. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Altina up next. Now, the second star of the banner. All right, people are up in arms about Altina because her artwork is very good, obviously, and it's Altina, one of our favorite characters. So we got 42 HP, 47 attack, 16 speed. Wow, that is a dump. Then we got 42 defense and 46 res. So that gives us a BST overall of 193, pretty good, although not quite as good as Ninja Zelgius, who is the unit that I'm going to always compare this unit to. Now, they're very similar, of course. They try to play similar roles. They both got brave attacking weapons. They both pierce DR. Well, Zelgius needs to run Special Spiral 4 or have Alir support to do that, or maybe even Camilla support now. Whereas this unit is able to pierce DR, but then she doesn't get non-pierceable DR, whereas Zelgius does from his Blacklist Luna, or whatever they call it, Lightless Luna. They should have just called it, like, I don't know, Eclipse, like it's supposed to be called. But whatever. So he gets non-pierceable DR, she has pierceable DR, but then she can pierce enemy DR without Special Spiral, and he needs Special Spiral or support to do that. So they have minor differences here and there. Also, he's a save unit because he's an armor type, so that gives him a little bit more of an advantage as a bait option because he's able to protect other allies. Although you could give save to Altina in a way if you're playing in summoner duels, if you got like Sorin on the team, or if you give her that new Captain Seal Impregnable to give her save, then that could work out also. To me, she seems like she wants to be Vantage tanking. Like, just like all the Altinas pretty much. She wants to have Vantage because her DR being pierceable, but then her having like insane power on the player phase, I think really promotes a Vantage playstyle with her. So that would be my takeaway, instead of going for the Bulwark 4 that she comes with. All right, so for her boons and banes, we have a boon, or a bane rather, on HP. We got plus attack, which is the only bane that or only boon that really matters here. All right, so that's good to see. She probably has one in res as well. Let's see here. Oh, we got plus defense also. That's nice. Yeah, if she has plus res, then that's really good. All right, no, unfortunately, she didn't get plus res, but she has plus attack and plus defense. Yeah, the plus defense is pretty good here because it's going to round out her defenses pretty nice, like 46, 46 defense and res. So I do like that. That's not too shabby. I don't think she's that relevant, though. Like, maybe not that relevant. That's not the right way to say it. That important to pull. Like, if you've already got Ninja Zelgius, he already does what she does, but he's blue, which is a little bit better. So that's my takeaway. But obviously, if you get this unit, she's going to be able to put in a lot of work. All right, let's take a look at her artwork before we move on to Juno. Okay, so this artwork is really good. Her outfit's really cool. Her axes are really cool. My one problem with this is that she's... Like, why is her skin all grayed out? Like, is she in the shade? Is she fighting under a palm tree or something? Like, you can see the stark contrast here. Look how bright and shiny these two's skin is. And then you look at Altina and she's, like, all grayed out for some reason. I don't understand. Maybe it's because she's been fighting in the sand all day and her skin is, like, all dirty. All right, maybe. And then, of course, we have the Ragnall and Alondite coloring on the weapons, which is pretty cool. And finally, the injured artwork. I think a lot of people are going to fight me about this one being the better artwork on the banner, but I mean, I see thickness, and that's what I like to see. So, Altina's not quite as thick, and they didn't, like, really focus in on the abs here like they did on iGreen. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Juno up next. All right, we should probably start closing some of these tabs that we don't need anymore. Okay, so Juno, what do we got from Juno here? So, 38 HP. We got 43 attack. We have 46 speed. We've got 35 defense and then 27 res. That gives us a BST of 189, which is just 1 point higher than iGreen there. So yeah, flyers typically tend to have less BST than infantry, but then iGreen being a bow type, you would think range units would have even less BST than that. So it's kind of weird there, but see, the thing about Juno is that she's able to grant all allies in 2 spaces the bonus doubler support and also the null panic support. So that's really good to be getting from one unit. Normally, how you would pass like bonus doubler to your whole team is by running Eliwood and Citrine. But that occupies 2 team slots in order to do that, whereas Juno only takes up 1 slot. And also, Juno is a flyer, unlike Eliwood or Citrine, so she's able to come with Soaring Guidance and Guidance 4 support, or even Rain Snap support for your team, give you some better mobility, better range coverage. So I feel like people are actually kind of sleeping on Juno a little bit. Like, people, they may think that Juno is just like Eliwood version 2.0, but she's actually, like, better than him in basically every way. The only way that Eliwood is better is that his bonus doubler support has unlimited range on the map, so he doesn't always have to be attached to his allies to do it. But still, like, the superiority of being a flyer and having all that coverage on the C skill, I think, does give Juno the edge in that matchup. So there you guys go with that. So now for boons and banes on Juno. Another bane on HP. They just love giving HP banes, right? Like, that's how they think they can balance these units, by having low HP. And then, like, a million, billion, and all the other stats. Okay, that does not look like a super boon on attack to me. Yeah, it's not. Okay. All right, but we do have one in speed, though. All right, so plus speed for Juno. And then nothing on defense, and then Bane on res also. Ooh. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter too much, though. So the idea with her would be just give her, like, Guidance 4, Soaring Guidance, Guard Bearing, and then have her just support your allies with bonus doubler and let your allies warp in and, like, protect themselves. So I think she's okay. This banner is definitely a skip, though. Like, you don't really need to summon. The only one I think is the most interesting is the Duo Hero, or Harmonic Hero, because, of course, their bonus movement is the best thing in the game. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Juno's artwork, and then we'll move on to Torrod here. So, all right, pretty decent artwork. I actually confused her for Ursula for some reason. I don't know, man. I see the purple hair, and I know that it's a Fire Emblem 6 and 7 Elibay themed game, and for some reason my brain just instantly goes to Ursula. But nah, it's pretty solid artwork from her. I like the tornado there, the sand tornado. So, okay, there we go for Juno. Now, for Torrod, I don't think anyone really expected Torrod to be on this banner. I was pretty happy to see him, though, because I actually like Torrod. Believe it or not, he's like one of my favorite fire mages from Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance. Although, the bad news with him is that you get him so late into the game that in Radiant Dawn, it's very hard to actually use him. So, by that point, you're probably not looking to add anyone else to your team. But he could be worth it, because his growth rates are actually, like, kind of crazy in Radiant Dawn. Okay, so we got 40 HP, we have 43 attack, we've got 45 speed, 25 defense, and then 30 res. So, okay, I didn't mean to do that. 183 BST overall, which is not the craziest. I mean, Cyril is like 2 tiers higher than that, so that's unfortunate. Although, I don't think you would use this unit as a merge project for scoring. If you're going to merge him up for usage, then you definitely want to use him as his own unit for, like, combat. So, Boons and Banes here. Bane on HP. Why am I not surprised? Plus attack. Pretty good. Alright, so he can fill out that nuking role pretty well. Alright, nothing on speed on 4. That's actually unfortunate. He doesn't have one in speed. Alright, Bane on defense. And then Bane on res. Wow, Bane's everywhere except he's got plus attack. So, that's pretty much it. I mean, do I think this guy is a worthwhile investment for plus 10ing since he's a 4-star demote? I would say possibly. Like, I'd have to double check, like, what the other Red Tome infantries look like in terms of attack and speed, like, if he's the best one. On paper, like, just on a glance, he does look like he's one of the better ones. And, of course, his new weapon is actually, like, insane. The weapon that they gave to this guy is actually kind of cracked if you're giving it to cavalry types, because it lets them bypass terrain penalties, and then it also gives them the other effect, too. Why can't I remember what the other effect was right now? I don't remember. Like, I remember this weapon is crazy, though. It gives you all stats of 4 as well. It gives you bypassing terrain, and then it gives you something else, too. I think it gives you, like, true damage based on attack. Like, 10% of your attack is true damage. So, this weapon's actually, like, really good. So, it's probably on par, if not better, than the Arcane Eclipse. So, yeah, it's a really nice thing that they gave us this weapon out here. Okay, and finally, we've got Hawkeye, who's going to be our Tempest Trial unit for the banner. So, he's got 45 HP. We got 47 attack. 22 speed, 41 defense, and then 38 res. And that gives us... Let's see here. Okay, 193 for the BST, which is... I mean, that, yeah, you come to expect that, although he's in the same bin. He's in the same bin as Cyril, but he gets the distant counter seal, so he goes up a bin. Alright, hold on. Let's see his Boons and Banes first, before I say anything. Alright, nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, wow. No, does he have a boon? What if this guy just doesn't have any boons? Alright, he's got one in red. Wow, that's awkward. Alright, plus res for Hawkeye. Wow. Well, okay. Now, he's a lance type unit, and we've been kind of starved for lances, although he's not particularly the type of lance we're looking for. We're looking for, like, god lances, because we don't have that many. We recently got Ninja Saizo and also New Year Kana, who is not really a lance, but she kind of is, because she's blue and she's fast. This guy is more like a bait lance. He's a tanky one, and we have quite a lot of those already. We've got Vigard, who scores higher than him and has the advantage of being armor type for using save skills and things like that. So I don't think Hawkeye, unfortunately, is going to be that worthwhile of an investment. And let's just quickly take a look at the artworks here. I didn't take a look at Torrod's, but it's actually pretty good. Yeah, the fire tornado from his weapon is really good. The attack animation on this guy's tome is really sick. Even though it's an inheritable weapon, it looks really cool. So that's Torrod, and then finally we've got Hawkeye here. Of course, the muscle man's got to be the free-to-play unit, right? He doesn't deserve money. They can't put him on the banner. God forbid anyone ever spends money to get muscle men. Right? Everyone just spends all their money to get thick waifus instead. Alright, I like the shield there. I like the pose he's got here on the injured artwork. He looks like a Roman general there. That's pretty badass. Okay. So there we go with him. And now we have his weapon over here. So Nabata Lance Plus. This is what it does. 14 might, 1 range. At the start of turn, if units in 2 spaces of an ally, grants unit can't be slowed by terrain and Hexblade to unit for 1 turn. And if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 4 to unit during combat and deals damage equal to 10% of unit's attack. So it's pretty similar to the tome that we got from Torrod. The one difference is that this is giving Hexblade and Tormod's tome is giving a different effect. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was. It might be null follow-up. It might be like that seems to make sense, but it could have been a different effect. I just don't remember right now. Otherwise, everything else is the same. The all stats of 4, the true damage based on attack, and all that good stuff. So this lance is okay. I think the tome is definitely better, because like the arcane lances are both probably better than this one. Maybe not the Arcane Shang. I think Arcane Lewin is definitely better than this, but Arcane Shang might not be, depending on what kind of unit we're talking about. So like, for example, calves that can just pass right through trenches, this might be a little better for them. But, I mean, that's another topic for another day. Okay, he's got Ignis. He's got Defense and Res Ideal 3. And then he's got Panic Ploy 3. Why am I not surprised? Maybe Panic Ploy 4 is going to be baller as hell. Like how they did like all of the level 3 ploys for the stats. Maybe Panic Ploy 4 is about to cook. And then we're going to be grateful that we got this as a fodder option. But looking at things right now, he doesn't look too great in terms of fodder, unfortunately. And then these are going to be the Sacred Seals that we're getting. So Threaten, Attack, Res, which is booty. And then Speed and Defense, Rain, which is okay. Yeah, so 1 bad seal, 1 good seal. Well, I guess we'll take it. You know, they completely forgot to do Attack and Speed Ideal. Like, they gave us all the other ideals except Attack and Speed. I wonder why that is. Huh? Like, the most wanted Ideal seal. That's the one we don't get? Alright, let's just see if we missed anything, and then we'll close out. Okay, so we have skill inheritances and restrictions, and it looks like that's basically the last thing we have to cover here. Alright, so Tormod's got Speed and Res Tempo at 5-star, which is fine. I mean, we'll take it. Like, Tempo on a demote is good, because Tempo 4 is pretty nutty. So that's a nice fodder skill if you want to pick up copies of him to fodder off later. And Speed and Res Gap 3 is the 4-star skill. Would have preferred those to be swapped. Alright, for Hawkeye, we got Ignis at 4-star, Defense and Res Ideal at 5-star, and then Panic Ploy at 4-star. Yeah, again, like maybe Panic Ploy 4 is going to be good. Who knows? Okay, yeah, this obviously is only going to be inheritable by Altina. You could tell just by the name of that. Like, Arms of the 3. The 3 being Her, Deginsia, and so on. So there was, like, no way in the world this was going to be inheritable. Alright, and then Pulse Up Blades is infantry locked, which we would expect, and then Times Pulse 3 is the prerequisite, which again, we would have expected. I don't really think this skill is actually that good. Like, to be honest, I thought about it a little bit more after the trailer, and I was like, wait a second, this is actually not good. Because the real thing that makes Times Pulse 4 good is that it gives you the mini special spiral after combat, where you get the -1. This is only doing it once at the start of the turn. Now, the difference here is that this works even if you're even if you're below your max special cooldown count, which Times Pulse only gives you the -1 if you're at your maximum special cooldown count. This one just does it at the start of every turn regardless. So that is good. But the after combat pulsing is what's really good about Times Pulse 4. So I think Times Pulse 4 is actually still better than this. And the stat bonuses you're getting here are just blue bonuses. So instead of getting like... You have to also wait to get the +6, so like it's not immediately you're going to be able to get your +6 to attack and speed. So I think Times Pulse 4 is probably just better than this still. Correct me if I'm wrong or if you think different in the comments, but that's just me. So let me know your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments section down below. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.